please, if you don't mind. STFU. I think is the cleanest way I could probably say it.
I like that one indeed. It's an interesting topic, and it's one that you can argue and debate about so often. And you know, talking about the calls, talking about that clear, concise leader. You heard Froggen saying in a second ago, whoever yells the loudest, that's who gets heard. And that's not a good way of managing a team. You need to have some chain of command, somebody with a good understanding, and even if it changes from time to time, you've got to have that ability to listen clearly, react as a team and as a unit, and push as a unit, because it reduces the chances for mistakes.
There is the panda of Candy Panda, yet every time we see that panda, we see Ocelot. Is he stolen it from Candy Panda or what?
It appears as though he has stolen it. We were talking earlier about the gaming houses and whatnot. Maybe he's just snuck that little good luck charm away.
Yeah, maybe it's like some sort of, if you win, you're going to get this. It
could also be a discussion. It is Ocelot, after all. He does have a lot of paraphernalia and things attached to him. So it could be one of the situations where if they win, they get to keep the panda, because he hasn't traded that scarf around. Cyanide toking up a little bit of coffee there, getting himself his caffeine and making sure he's awake for this matchup. It's going to be a big one. It's a very important game for both of these teams, and you want to be staying as high up the board as possible, because you do not want to drop down closer to those 7th, 8th positions and, you know, start losing to the lower ranked teams in the league right now.
There is Kevin on your screen, the man that's been so consistent. Mr. Consistent, I think we called him in the previous matchup, and he was on Rumble, and he did very well, despite the fact he was fell behind in the early start. He just stuck around, carried on farming, and got himself right back into it, and ended up being one of the key men to win that game.
Yeah, very, very important to note that he pulled it back. Time and time again, we've seen Rumbles that have fallen behind in those duo lanes, those 1 versus 2s, that have been unable to bring themselves back into the matchup. Fnatic, they have first pick, first ban. They have immediately removed Thresh. Don't want him there. Interesting to see they ban it, because Nif was sort of saying, well, I don't really see it. I don't really dig it so much. So, you know, taking it out of the pool, maybe he doesn't see it, but he still plays it. And 3 support bans so far.
That said, I mean, we've just seen Crepo running it, got MVP for the last game, because some of those hooks were game-changing. So even if you don't see it yourself, you can just land that one hook and it can turn things around. Yeah. Naturally, he's only being banned against him as well. So they've actually taken away 3 supports already.
Yeah, first 3 bans have been all supports targeted, both N-rated and NIF. So a lot of that super hyper carries are still available. They've taken Jarvan 4 away. They don't want Hercubot or Ocelot running it. But some of the big name champions that we do need to just keep in mind. Kassadin still free and available. Renekton still free and available. And we'll see who they decide to actually lock in, because absolutely everything is possible right now. We've also seen Xpeke running Needly a number of times when they want to try to do these split pushes and try to do these map control type of picks. So we'll see how they decide to lock it in. Final ban from SK Gaming is going to be Elise. So removing Elise from the game as well. And again, you know, one of those high priority champions.
That's technically 4 supports.
Yes, you could argue that. You could argue that. From what we've seen from Crepo earlier today, Elise was being used as that support pick. And of course, just taking it away. Soaz is going to lock in Nasus. So that'll be Cyanide running Nasus in the jungle. I believe he was running Nasus in the jungle earlier this morning as well. So, you know, it's not uncommon to see that now.
Every time I see Soaz on the screen, I keep thinking of all the memes that keep going out from him and just thinking, deal with it.
It's probably going to be a subreddit at some point, Soaz picks, very similar to Scar.
Every time I see him, yeah, it's just, there's been so many of them, and then the thing is, he actually puts them himself on his own Facebook page, which is always a funny thing. Well, but there is Xin Zhao has managed to squeak his way through. Interesting that Fnatic had the choice of that and went with the dog. So we have Lulu and Xin Zhao.
Lulu and Xin Zhao, a scary combination already. Xin Zhao's going to dive in there with his audacious charge, just start bashing away at everybody, get wild growth up, knock everybody up. If it's a bad engagement, he can use his ulti to knock everybody away. So I like that combination. Earlier today, we've seen Yellowstone and Rated running the Varus Nunu combo in that bottom lane, and it worked out very, very well for them. So we'll see who they're going to put in that support role. For the time being, Zed has been locked in. Now, I want to know whether it's going to be Soaz or Xpeke running Zed, because again, it's a champion that has the diversity, has the ability to move around, and it's something that we were talking about, myself and Jat, earlier today and yesterday, how important it is to have champions that you can put in any lane, because it forces your opponents to second-guess themselves.
It's definitely the wiser choice early on. Candy Panda thinking hovering over Draven, but switching to Ezreal did, of course, see a different champion earlier on. Ocelot, what are we thinking they're going to go with here? Is it going to be, this is going to be surely the AD and top laner?
I imagine it would be the AD and top laner. Generally, Ocelot likes to keep that AP pick for last. In addition, I'm very interested to see that Caitlyn is still alive. I just got it out. Caitlyn Lulu. Caitlyn Lulu is such a powerful combination. You can push towers so incredibly quickly. Candy Panda, or as you just said, Caitlyn Panda, one of his go-to champions. And as soon as I seen Lulu was locked in there, I'm like, hang on a minute. Caitlyn's neither picked nor banned. And that's really been one of the top tier AD carries in the league so far. Ocelot, he's picked Lux, a player who is a little bit hit and miss from time to time, picked a champion that is hit and miss. When you hit big, but if you miss, that final spark does nothing.
I see what you did there. I tell you what, this is actually something they have discussed before, but I don't expect them to pull it out here.
Okay, now I do want to point
They have talked about this though.
Earlier, we were talking to Cyanide just after the interview, and I said, okay, what are you going to pick? What are you going to play? And he said, we actually have a surprise pick planned, but it's very dependent on what our opponents pick. And tried to weasel out of him who it is or what it is, and they decided not to tell me, and it is going to be swapped over to Cassian. So we'll see if this does get locked in. It looks like it has as the time has run down. Peke running Cassidy with teleports and flash. Will we get another X-Peke?
Expect him in the back door.
I don't know what to expect from this game.
I could keep going. We could keep going.
Expect the unexpectable.
You can tell we've thought a lot of these off air. This is what you get for sharing, being basically together for 5 weeks.
Where that sentence was going for
sharing a room for a long time as well. We've been roommates for a while.
Punk buddies, effectively.
Punk buddies.
Yes.
And then, oh, Shy. That can be Shy.
Shy.
So many times I just get confused by champions of players because they're just so good at them.
If anybody is going to know how terrifying Singed being played by Shy is, it's going to be Kevin. He has been at the mercy of Shy's Singed time and time again.
The irony is they let him take it again when they played each other. Why did they do that?
It was planning and preparation for this game. They knew it was going to happen, and Kevin was taking notes on how to play Singed from Shy, and we'll see if he can channel his inner shyness to bring it out in this particular game.
He didn't take enough notes while he was at the Season 2 getting absolutely destroyed. He was like, that was completely Air. We're going to blame him for that one. Oh, wait. He's not in the team anymore, and it still went wrong.
Fnatic are going to be in trouble if they get caught. Fnatic are going to be in so much trouble if they get caught by a light binding, or if that ghosting Insanity Potion Singed comes running in with a wild growth. There is not a lot that they can do to handle that. The Wither will be very important to help control Singed in his team fights, but it isn't the longest duration, and if Fnatic mess up their timing, Singed and Xin Zhao are going to tear that very, very squishy team apart. So we're going to see how this one plays out. It's a very exciting composition, and it's very different to what we've been seeing. So I'm hoping it's going to produce some fantastic results.
Well, we're going to hope that back door is sealed up tightly because Cassidy is going to be knocking. He has the teleport again selected. So let's see if they can do it again. There is Ocelot, unshaven. Do you think he's just forgot the razor or he's going for the look? It's like a battle between him and Snoopy right now. Who can be the hairy one?
Yeah, it probably is. If it is a battle, they lost. I mean, you know what I mean? They're fighting a losing battle because, the Polish boy is definitely leading that charge. And I want to see how this game is going to play out because Ocelot's Lux, he's running into the mid lane with Flash Barrier. So he is afraid of the damage that's going to be coming down from both Cassidy and from Zed. And you need to remember, if X-Peke gets in a bit of a roll, Zed will be able to delete Lux or Caitlyn from the game. If Cassidy gets enough ability power and gets to that point where he can do it as well, that's a very, very scary combination. And then they can simply kite and avoid Xin Zhao and Singed for the rest of the battle. Silence and Null Sphere, the Null Sphere and the Force Pulse to slow them down and just keep themselves at bay. So I want to see how this one plays out, but it's definitely a scary, scary composition if SK manage to land any abilities or lock them down.
I'm seeing what Peke has picked up as his items. I'm wondering if he's going top lane. I think he is.
Well, we'll see how this plays out. At the moment, Enrated and Yellow Star are moving towards the bottom. You can see Zed positioning himself towards that middle lane. So as maybe going to be looking to duel or battle out Lux, and that's just going to be a skill fight battle. Whoever manages to get some early level poke is going to have an advantage because they both have great, great damage. The benefit is, of course, that Soaz Zed has no mana and will not be reliant on controlling his ability usage, when that barrier is going to be very key for Ocelot. And a defensive start for both of these teams. Number of wards have been placed down, a number of living wards being used as well.
So Ocelot warding out, Peke warding out the Tribush in the top there. So one of his wards have gone down. Pink ward by Nif being used on towards the mid lane bush. And it does look like an invade potentially coming out here. We're going to see them coming in. They will be able to make the way around. No vision of it, but I'm pretty sure Fnatic are well aware of the situation here.
Yeah, Fnatic have no idea where their opponents are, but they've got full vision in the top lane. They've got a ward down on the bottom, so you can imagine that they can sniff out something is fishy, but they've got no vision. So if Cyanide does head towards that red buff, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. SK Gaming positioning themselves closer. Enrated,
oh, the timing there, yeah, wow, the timing on that. I don't know whether they meant it or whether it was pure luck, but we do see Ocelot going in that top lane. So it's going to be Ocelot versus Soaz in that top lane for now. That may well change, but there is the red buff being taken away. And are we going to see Hercubot maybe running back around? We can see Cyanide going straight towards that red buff, thinking about it. Not convinced by it yet, though.
Yeah,
go for blue instead.
He doesn't want to go for it just at the moment. Still feeling a little bit unsafe because he's unsure where everybody is. And the players felt exactly what we were describing as well. They're like, oh, we don't really know what's happening, so let's see. And that was the timing for that ward. But what we do see is Candypan and Nif in this middle lane. You know, the Caitlyn Lulu combo that is so powerful at shoving and pushing lanes. If they can get this tower down very, very quickly, it's going to make Xpeke's Castan his life very, very difficult because he needs to get farm, he needs to get gold, and he needs to get items.
He is going to have a problem here, I feel, for a while against Candy Panda. And we've seen it so often. This is like the Korean push in the mid, basically. This is the push that works, and it does take turrets very, very, very quickly. And we're going to have an incredible job, Xpeke, here of defending it. So have SK pulled off a sneaky early strategy here to really keep the pressure down. You can see, just with that wave there, they're going to take this on down to half health.
Yeah, half health at 3.5 minutes. I mean, generally, these towers will fall between 4.5 and 6 minutes if there's no interference from the jungler. And if that is the case, Peke's got 5 CS right now. He's going to be very far behind once Nif and Candy Panda start pushing the other lanes. Hercubot continues with his jungle, and we've seen no love or no presence from the junglers in the lanes just yet. They want to get their double buffs up, and they want to put themselves in a stronger position. And this is what we're talking about. As long as Cyanide is here, the amount of pressure on that tower will be less. But still, Caitlyn's range is just so huge at this point. I believe it's 650 if I recall correctly, and it's just so easy to hit towers with that particular champion.
Flash burned out from N-rated there. So Kevin thought about going for him, flipping him towards the turret. He did put the glue down, and it was Hercubot just lingering off in the background. There it is. Look at the turret, half health already. And Cyanide realizing he's going to have to stick around here, otherwise they're not going to have that turret much longer. But look at it already. That's about a third health now down. Again, another Piltover on towards Peke. They're keeping the pressure down. Peke's going to have to back off in a moment.
So much damage going on to him, and just continual auto attack after auto attack. You see Peke in this middle lane. He's currently using his Force Pulse to farm up, and you never want to be in that position. Xin Zhao is hiding in the Tribush. Hercubot wants to come in for a gank, but he's standing on a ward, so they knew that it was coming. Fnatic react appropriately. They were never really in too much danger there. If a flip came in, they would have been in trouble. And Peke goes so low.
Very, very low there. And again, another poke towards him. Had to force the flash away from the Piltover Peacemaker of Candy Panda. Ocelot, meanwhile, in this top lane. He's starting to struggle against Soaz here. He's got no mana here to try and keep this lane wave back. He's just slowly but surely chugging down as many pots as he can from that crystalline flask, but it's got to be out by now. I don't think he's got any more charges. Does level up, and the first turret of the game is about to go down on the 5-minute mark in the mid lane.
Yeah, Candy Panda and Nif just continuing the pressure. You can see that Hercubot is around the side. They're going to carry on putting some damage down into this inner turret. It's a very, very early turret. Hercubot sniffing for blood. Timing. He's going to go in.
Bad timing there, and he comes around, and Cyanide was there, and he has to audacious charge on towards the minion. The barrier comes out from Nif there and protects him, but Hercubot, they wanted to go for him. It was just purely coincidence that Cyanide came out to defend.
Yeah, it's that spidey sense, those gamer jungler senses that we see time and time again. They realize something's a bit fishy. They're hanging around at 5 minutes on our inner turret. Something just doesn't quite add up here. And it immediately meant that Cyanide needed to position himself in the mid lane. So tower is down. In terms of CS, it is still very even for gold because the mid laner and the top laner for SK Gaming are behind.
He's diving in the top lane. He has to manage to use the light binding, threw it out, didn't catch though. And well, Ocelot He's going to have to back off here, but that was an ulti used from Soaz.
It was an ulti used from Soaz. It's not too bad because the cooldown is only around 2 minutes, so it should be back relatively sooner. We're not in crazy team fight phase right now, but Soaz quite lucky, in fact, that he didn't actually deal any more damage. If the light binding had caught him, he would have taken turret aggro, but you know, the way that Zed's ultimate works, he needs to deal more physical damage to get more damage up. And you can immediately see Candypan and Nif, they were moving top. Yellowstar gets flipped.
Flipped in towards the turret. There's a lot of poison going on him, and he just put a shot on towards Kevin, so it meant that he immediately took a tower hit. Lane switches coming around, and they're going to try and keep the pressure on. Ocelot is making his way down towards the bottom here, but I don't think he's going to get it in time. It's going to be a turret for Fnatic.
So first turret on the board for Fnatic. It is in their duo lane. They're going to probably respond by sending Yellowstar and Ray to top to try and fend off Candy Panda and Nif. And generally, we're just going to have this tower pushing, tower trading mentality for the time being. And we'll see how they can hold it off. Red Pot is there in Soaz's back pocket, as well as his Bilgewater Cutlass. So his damage has got a little bit of a spike. And he did very, very well in that solo or the side lane against Ocelot's Lux. He's denied him a lot of CS and a lot of farm. But Lux does have that Tear of the Goddess, will be maxing out the mana. If I recall correctly, Ocelot was playing Needly against Evil Geniuses, and they just denied him the blue buff time and time and time again, and that was what shut him down. Expect to see a lot of focus around the blue buff from Fnatic to try to keep him shut down. Expect it goes aggressive on Ocelot, but actually loses out in that trade.
It's a little bit of poke towards him. There is 3 members of SK Gaming in that top lane, but the 2 duo laners of N-Rated and Yellowstar have gone up there. They're going to keep this wave at bay. They're going to protect this turret a little bit longer. So we do finally have all laners against each other in their standard meta positions.
Standard meta positions, except reversed as well. So you've got top going bottom and bottom going top. But I think it's far enough in with this lane swapping meta. They're going on Ocelot.
Very aggressive play here, and they're going to use the ultimate. He should get taken down low. Peke will finish it off. The question is, who do they want to give the kill to? It will be Peke.
I was trying to make a pop noise, but I realized the sound effect, I don't really know how to do it. So, but they managed to get it at the end there. That red dot from Soaz's death mark, it is terrifying. When you get so low on HP, you expect there to be trouble coming. They do get first blood in the middle lane. Ocelot gives it up. And a very good play from Soaz and Peke, and that's what they're going to be careful of. They should be able to single out and pick up a kill on anybody they want. Cyanide's moving into lane right now, and here comes Hercule as well.
Ignite had to get used. He had to use his ultimate, but you can see Kevin didn't want to go through with that one. Cyanide was going to try and come around there. Kevin thought about helping out and trying to maybe sneak a kill on him, but Soaz seems to be a bit of an unstoppable force right now.
Kevin is building very differently to what we've seen out of Shy. He's gone for a Tear of the Goddess first, instead of going for something like a Rod of Ages, which is what we've seen out of Shy time and time again. So he's not as tanky as we're used to seeing from Singed. Cyanide and Soaz now setting themselves up in a position to deny this blue buff from Ocelot's Lux. And this is what we're saying. If you can get that away, if you can prevent it happening, it's definitely going to be very, very important. But of course, Ocelot is there, and you see that Kevin did just recall. So we'll see if they go in aggressive. There is no ultimate available for Soaz, so that's very, very key if they want to pick a fight.
Cyanide is just to the side. He's going to come and try and run around and just smite it away. He needs to make sure he doesn't give himself the vision. There it is. Comes in, smites it. Thank you very much. I'm off.
Yep, thank you very much indeed. Living Shadow goes up just for some vision and to prevent anybody coming away. And
ultimate used. SK Nif there, caught out there, and he's going to pop the absolute zero. It's Nif's going to be the target. Now they're switching towards Candy Panda. They can't seem to decide. And Candy Panda's going to try and turn this one around on towards Yellowstar, trying to keep the poke down. I don't think they've got enough, and he will not follow through.
Such great use of that 90 caliber net, puts Candy Panda just out of range of that absolute zero, gets himself away from the danger. They end up trading a lot of ultimates and a lot of abilities, but for no kills just yet. Cleanse, Flash, and Ignite was burned for Candy Panda, and Soaz finds Kevin.
Soaz finds Kevin, goes aggressive again, waiting in that try, but the glue goes thrown down, but he does walk away from that one. And Kevin, every time he just returns to lane, has to go back and buy again.
Another time we see Soaz, he opens with the Shadow Clone, the Shadow slashes his E, puts some damage down, and then follows it up with a Death Mark, and Candy Panda might be in trouble.
Teleport coming in. Here comes Peke. He's still kept himself invisible. Now he shows himself. He's going to rift walk towards them. Are they going to be able to take enough here? N-Rated tries to tank out the turret. Peke does go around, puts a volley down towards Candy Panda, but it's not enough yet.
No boots from Peke, and the teleport or the aggression from N-Rated and Yellowstar was a little bit soon, so he wasn't able to get up there. Peke is going to move towards his blue buff. And what I was saying about Soaz is he's using his ultimate after dealing some physical damage. Ideally, you want to get the death mark down first, then land the rest of your abilities in auto attacks, because that little pop will deal more damage based on the additional physical damage that you deal.
So he's building up towards the Brutalizer, has got the build to cut this already, so Blade the Rune King's going to be coming out from Soaz. What are the rest of the team doing? Fun. SK Gaming started off so well. They had that early aggression. They took down the mid turret very early on, but they seem to have stalled out a little bit. The fact that Fnatic have changed out that duo lane, have managed to come up the top there, has definitely stopped things.
I think it has something to do with the poison from Kevin. It's just choked their life out of this map control right now. Fnatic have put some pressure onto this dragon right now, and unfortunately Sinch just hasn't really stomped in authority on his lane
Sinch
at all.
has to be moving. Sinch has to be going. They can close him down. He's got such a distance to go. Here comes Peke. He's going to come around. He's going to be able to catch the slowdown on him. Is he going to walk? Yes, he is. He's jumping, pay your boots, he is. But Soaz wasn't on the same page.
No, nobody else from Fnatic really wanted to pick that fight. If they had actually gone in, they probably could have killed him. But again, no deathmatch from Soaz. So no ultimate there means no kill. Yellowstar does get a ward in the bush, and Hercubot is sniffing around. The Fnatic ward is about to time out, and that is so key, because Hercubot's his sixth sense for a gank is great. If he can sneak into the second vision, would be good. But a pink ward comes down, and Fnatic realize, well, there's no vision there. They'll be able to see if Xin Shao does come in for the gank.
Yeah, as soon as they saw the ward go down, see Hercubot's just backing off and returning to the golems at the top there. Peke this time is ready and waiting. Comes across, and they're going to double team on Kevin. I don't think his ultimate, he's going to pop the ghost. Can he get away from it? Is it enough? No, it's not, because Peke is there, and they finish him off.
If Singed can get taken out by Zed and by Kassadin, there is very little hope for SK Gaming in these team fights, because once that person goes down, they're just going to turn their attention to Lux, to Caitlyn, to Lulu, and carry on picking up kill after kill. Kevin needs to get tanky, and he needs to get tanky fast.
Very fast, but instead, he's trying to get that catalyst. He's trying his best to get there, but he can't manage to get the farm. 67 CS to 80. Compare that to the farm of Soaz, 104, and that's who he's up against right now in lane.
It is a big disparity between the two of them, and it's just one of those situations where if you're behind on a champion that can burst you down and kill you, it is so difficult to lane and so difficult to pull yourself back into the matchup, because simply put, you just keep getting burst down over and over and over. Brutalizer has been completed for Soaz, so the amount of damage that he's going to be dealing will be even higher right now, and it's just really going to play into his favor. So Fnatic in a good position, 3,000 gold lead, around about 14 minutes on the clock. They got that dragon a few moments ago. They've got one tower to one, but we're still in this sort of passive laning phase, because everybody's focusing on farm, except for the occasional gank that comes up from Peke and Soaz.
The occasional gank may well come out again here. Hercubot is off at the side, but here comes Peke again, trying to sneak in there, is able to rift walk in.
Now take a look at the amount of vision Fnatic have. If anybody moves up into position, they're going to be well aware of it. They also know that there's no vision in the top lane bushes, so if any member of SK Gaming face check this bush, Peke is going to jump on them. They may even think to tower dive. They're going in!
They're going in for it. Look at that. Nif went already. Enrated didn't even get a chance to press R to get the assist. He was just removed. Soaz now closing in as well. He's coming around trying to see if he can get anything else towards the red. It's going to be a 4-man push on towards the top turret.
Soaz does have his ultimate available. Ignite is not there yet, but they're not going to need it from the amount of damage that's coming out. Peke has forgone purchasing boots. He's borrowed a page from AAA, and he's going aggressive onto Candy Panda.
Going aggressive on towards Candy Panda. Deathmark was down. Now it's Hercubot they're going to turn it around to. Oh, quick bounce in there. I think the Enrated flashed at the moment Hercubot did his ultimate, which pulled him around there. It does mean they're going to try and turn this back around. Here comes Ocelot coming around the side. The laser! The laser lands on both of them. That's a brilliant play there from Ocelot. Can they catch on towards anyone else? Yellowstar's going to run for his life here. Kevin has got the ultimate running, but I don't think he's going to be able to close down Yellowstar. The ping comes down. If the light binding can land, Ocelot's going to try and head him off. The glue just captures the rear foot of Yellowstar. The light binding is going to be critical. Throws it out. Not going to Luminescent. Doesn't quite clench it down. The light binding still not come out there. They're going to try and chase him down, and Yellowstar knows it. He has to try and avoid it. Tries to juke it out. Can't do it. Oh, maybe he has. Maybe he hasn't. But no, the flip is there, and he's dead.
Unfortunately, Fnatic, they made a very key mistake in that fight. They wanted to go on Hercubot, and when Soaz seen Candy Panda was there, went, hey, I'll go on Candy Panda. But nobody else from Fnatic could jump in there quickly enough. So they ended up being out of position, and the laser came down. Fire the laser, and it managed to get them a double kill in that particular engagement. 3 kills now, 4 Lux for Ocelot after closing out onto Yellow Star. And such a good turnaround for SK Gaming. This match has just been blown wide open.
Look at that. 3 people making sure Ocelot gets that blue buff. They need that blue buff on him. They have to be using that laser non-stop. There it is again, poking across, trying to save out that middle turret. And they may well have done it just about enough. Peke coming across. They're going to get caught. The light binding. The growth manages to bounce Peke up, but Peke's got away from this one. Now they're turning on towards Cyanide. Can they catch anything on towards him? No. He goes, and they all disengage.
Soaz was positioning himself there off to the side, just out of vision. If anybody carried on chasing, he was going to pop that on-hit slow from the Cutlass, and if anybody was, you know, a fairly squishy target, jump on them with his ultimate and just blow them up. So a good play from Fnatic to put a lot of pressure in that lane, but unfortunately, being a bit out of position. I mean, the laser came in from Ocelot from the side, and they still sort of hung around there waiting.
Kevin is getting free farm while this is all happening. He's constantly been pushing that bottom. He doesn't want to take the turret down, it seems. Happy to go back, but he keeps building the farm up. He's going back. Rod of Ages could come out. It could be Mercury Treads instead. So as it stands, Ocelot now with that blue buff, he's wiping out those waves. He's starting to get more farm as well.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of gold to spend as well. You know, if you take a look at the gold numbers, 24,000 to 21 in his back pocket, currently sitting on 2K, and those kills just evened him out. It pulled him so much closer to Soaz. We've got them matched up in that regard because of the early laning. So 5,700 to 5,500, and you can see the numbers going all the way down. In terms of kill ability, Ocelot's now got a very, very nice spike. He's finished his Morella Nomicon. He's got the needlessly large rod. And whoever he picks off, wherever he catches with the light binding is in trouble. Peke and Yellow Star, they want to go onto Candy Panda, but they're standing on a ward.
They're setting up for this.
Candy Panda is just pretty much going to go, no, I know you're there. Fnatic can see them too. I mean, look at the vision on the minimap. Take a moment to look at how many wards there are. They see everything.
They see absolutely everything. But Kevin, he's continuing to get the farm. And while Soaz has been getting a lot of farm as well, he's kind of trying to get them kills. He's an assassin. He needs to be in the right place at the right time, and he's kind of chasing it right now. Has completed that Blade of the Rune King along with that Brutalizer, so the next person he gets onto is going to get popped. The question is, will it be the right target?
That's the question, and then as well, do they have the positioning to follow up? Because they showed in the previous engagement, they make mistakes. They jumped onto the wrong target, they hung around between 2 turrets, and it's not late enough in the game, or they weren't far enough ahead to get away with it, and it cost them, you know, cost them 3 deaths. So if Fnatic pick the right engagement and the right time, yes, the person who's popped will die quickly and they can win the fight. If they overextend, they can lose that engagement as well.
So what are SK doing here? There's 4 members of them roaming around. Dragon is up. Maybe you're going to go for that one. Kevin has got teleport in a few moments. It's not quite available just yet. Peke thought about trying to back off there, but instead he's going to try and keep it busy. Kevin is continuing to farm out. You can see the pings going down around that blue buff. Blue buff is not going to be up for a while because Ocelot did pick it up a moment ago, checks it out there with his E.
Loosen Singularity.
Of course it is.
And the Dragon is there, so Fnatic are going to start this one up. There's a couple of wards around for both SK Gaming and Fnatic, so if they start moving towards Soaz, we'll know it's coming, but the rest of the members of Fnatic are pretty much pulling the attention of the Fnatic members. Look for a final spark. Ocelot might try snipe it, and he does it! He does!
He shoots, he scores, and Ocelot again with that laser manages to find it. Very nicely done there. That's got to be infuriating after you've soloed it for so long, Soaz.
Especially because Fnatic thought they were so sneaky. The call came in, I can do Dragon. Keep them busy, they won't know. And unfortunately it didn't pan out because SK, they sensed it, they could feel that, hang on a minute, why is Soaz not here? Where is he? Nif got vision, Ocelot landed the shot, and they managed to pick that one up. There is a temporary pause. It is because of a game client crash.
Would be pretty hideous for a keyboard.
Well, I don't know. I think the black and orange is pretty cool, but
it's pretty cool on the headsets. I like them headsets.
They are good. Yeah, team branded awesomeness.
Team branded awesomeness. And we are back live into the game after the team branded awesomeness has been resolved. So things are getting underway. Let's have a quick recap. 28.3 thousand to 26.1. Pretty close in gold. Just 2,000 gold lead for Fnatic. 3-3 in kills. 2-1 in turrets in favor of Fnatic. But more importantly, the middle turret is down for SK Gaming. So Kevin, we expect him to be split pushing for a long time here, is starting to get stronger and stronger and stronger. The longer you leave him, the more potent he's going to become. The AD carries, you can see, difference of opinion here. Going for Infinity Edge on Candy Panda, looking like Yellow Star, Blade of the Rune King was kind of thought about, not too sure what to go for next.
Yeah, we'll see how he decides to upgrade. Both options are available to him, but the fact that he's got both daggers and that Cutlass tells you that Blade of the Rune King is probably going to be his first pickup. And it makes a lot of sense when you consider Xin Zhao and Singe are going to be diving on onto him. So to have that additional on-hit active, that on-hit slow, that'll allow him to kite and keep them away, that's slightly more important to him than that big damage spike right now, because even with the blade and the BF sword, he's still going to be able to pick up kills on Lux and Caitlyn if they can be held in place long enough by his ultimate.
So Kevin continues to poke the top. Peke has to go up there. So Peke is going to be the split pusher dealing with the Singed. So let's just straight away talk about these two. A Kassadin versus a Singed, because they are, I think these guys are going to be staying in this lane for a long time.
Well, at the moment, that's the way it looks. You can see that force, that null sphere coming out. It's not hitting too hard against Kevin. He's got that catalyst up, so a little bit additional HP as well as the Merc Treads to reduce the damage from those spells. So Peke is not really going to be able to kill him, and it's going to become like a bit of a farm fest if they stick around in lane. Look at the vision for Kevin, though. The top grass, the tri-bush on his side of the river, as well as near the blue buff. So if anyone's coming up, he's going to be 100% aware of it and going to be able to get to safety in time. So really good vision from both teams in this matchup. I'd love to know how much gold they've spent just on wards.
Just on wards, yeah. That's a stat that maybe Riot Please will add in.
Riot Please.
I keep saying that, but we are actually both Rioters now.
I know, but we're not in the design team or the live balancing team or anything like that. So
Riot Please.
We can't affect it, but
maybe I'm flying there tomorrow, so I can go over with my list of Riot Pleases.
That sounds like an awesome idea. And we just see once again just this farming at the moment. Probably going to wait for another objective to spawn, I believe, before the next fight. Unless one team decides to push a tower, it's probably going to be around Dragon again. Maybe a blue buff steal. Fnatic have shown that they want to control the blue buffs. They want to deny Ocelot the ability to just spam those final sparks out. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a big fight over that particular buff.
So blue buff is going to get picked up. Peke comes around, picks that up. Thank you very much. AD carry, and off you go.
Now, something I just remembered as well, watching Peke pick up that blue buff. This is patch 3.03, and in this patch, Kassadin's W, his on-hit damage modifier, no longer applies to buildings. So that backdoor play is going to be a little bit more difficult for Peke, and they catch out Kevin.
Good ulti on towards Kevin there, a flash ulti nonetheless from Yellowstar, and he does look like he's going to go down. Peke is going to finish him off with the Rift Walk. The rest of SK were heading up there, but immediately they just abort. That was a fantastic gank from Yellowstar.
Yeah, really good. They landed the abilities that they needed to land. They caught Kevin a little bit overextended, and interestingly, of all the wards and vision I was talking about, it had just timed out. Soaz has gone into Ocelot.
Soaz goes in, there is the death mark, runs forward, but the barrier was popped, immediately covering it off, and Soaz is not going to follow up on that one. Wise choice there, because I think, yeah, Ocelot hadn't used his light binding there, had he? He was just like, come to a little closer.
Soaz is going to be very happy with that, as Yellowstar and Peke are now pushing the top lane. Ocelot's going to be forced to recall. He has no flash, he has no barrier. The laser comes out, but they might be able to get this turret. Nobody's tanking it though, so Yellowstar just decides to back off.
Just enough to buy the timeout, but Kevin's going to have to go down the bottom and deal with Soaz now. Soaz doesn't have his ultimate available, but neither does Kevin. And now you can see Yellowstar is going to come in towards the turret, does finally finish it off there. A little heart murmur comes out from myself as well, as we saw that spike of lag, but Kevin will defend the bottom turret. To middle turret, look at that, that's very low as well. Fnatic seem to have just everything stacked up right now. It's like playing pool, they're just going to knock all the balls in the holes.
Yeah, exactly, just knock them in one by one, and unless Lulu and Caitlyn are there with their Qs to knock out the waves, there's simply no way that they're going to be able to, actually defend these turrets, because Lux can do very well, but if they don't take out the creep wave immediately, the amount of damage that Varus is putting down at the towers with that Blood Boil from Nunu is just so high.
Candy Panda trying to keep people away from that middle, keep that little bit of vision available, because Fnatic have a heck of a lot of wards out across the map. They have been back to Peke, and you can see Peke is the one that's doing the bottom. He has teleported down there. It's Kevin he's going for. Soaz, his ultimate is available, and Kevin is a long way from home. Does use his ultimate, tries to run away from this one. There goes Soaz, gets another bit of poke on him. He's still running, he's still going for it, but he's going to get taken down. You can't handle and deal with that much damage.
As soon as I seen Peke and Soaz running towards Kevin, I'm like, I've seen this movie. It's a sequel, and it sucks because they did exactly the same thing, and Kevin is going to be complaining to the ESRB about it because he's just being camped right now.
It needs more than an N rating.
I do very much like that one. Fnatic right now in a good position. Whoever they decide to jump on and kill, they do it successfully. And as long as they continue to do so, SK are never going to have a team fight because they're always going to have somebody dead, as Fnatic now got positioning and the numbers advantage on this Dragon. They're going to carry on fighting out. You can see that Candy Panda is in the middle lane. Hercubot is moving there with Nif. If they want to go aggressive, the combo of Zinzao plus Wild Growth is very powerful, especially because Candy Panda has now reinforced the line.
Ocelot's going to go down here. He does get caught out. It's Soaz again, and it's just Peke and Soaz. They are hit and running every time. Hercubot still wants to come in and steal with us, but I think it's a mistake. They can't go for it. And the ultimate from Yellowstar comes out. It doesn't quite catch on towards Nif, but they do put the damage down. Hercubot goes in. Wild Growth bounces them all back, but is it going to be enough? They've lost the bottom turret. Ace and a hole comes out. Teleport from Kevin comes down now. It's N-rated. They're turning towards the glue, manages to get him, flips him in towards the team, but taking the support down is simply not enough. And now you can see Hercubot. He's in all sorts of trouble. Yellowstar taking the protection. Here comes Peke. Rift walks into the fight. And Soaz, he's on the top lane. He could cut them across, but instead he's going towards... But he's on the inhibitor. Soaz is on the inhibitor. Peke's going to get run away from this one. Kevin's not going to catch him down, but it doesn't matter. They're losing their base right now. And this is always what happens against SK Gaming. They have to be cautious. Ocelot comes back. Oh, the tower held towards Soaz. Has to get that little bit of life still.
Maz does manage to survive. Fnatic crying out, all your base all belong to us. SK Gaming now with the pressure. Inner turret is down. There are no minions yet just yet. Cyanide thinks about going in with his 2,500 HP, but decides not to engage at the end of that. SK Gaming are going to be happy about the trade. They managed to pull it back, but Fnatic, they just stuck around for way too long. They secured the Dragon, but they lost quite a few kills in that engagement, and I feel they're going to be a little bit unhappy with it. Ocelot is trying to take this blue buff. Cyanide has smite stolen it already.
He's going to do it again, yeah. You can see him coming around. Peke was ready and waiting to go for it as well. Uses the Spirit Fire and says, okay, they're backed off. We'll just leave it there for now and we'll try and catch him out next time he goes for it. Ocelot this time, he was the man that chose to go back, defend it out. I think that turret's going to go down. The minions will take it out, clears out the wave. No! He protected it. How much is that? That's got to be... It's on 8 hit points.
8 hit points on that tower. That's literally a warm breath, I think is the description that you said earlier. In terms of items, we're not seeing anything too out of the ordinary here. Soaz has got those boots of mobility. He's sitting very deep at the moment. If anyone from SK finds him, he could be in trouble. But he wants to play very
they're going to find him.
They're going to find him. Is he going to go aggressive? He has decided to go on Nif.
He's going for the Oracle, but he's going to pop the Wild Growth on him. Is that a mistake? Instead turns him into that little cupcake, bounces him away. Hercubot ultimate user, and they are bouncing back and forward. That's a lot of ultimates burned out by Fnatic here, and SK Gaming realize it. They're thinking of pursuing, but they're going to choose to back off.
Going to decide to get away. They do get away safely, but Soaz, I think he thought the rest of Fnatic was a little bit closer, and he was hoping to kill Nif much quicker than he actually did. But with the Wild Growth, the shield from the Locket of the Iron Solaria, as well as the shield that Lu has herself, it was able to block most, if not all, of the damage from that death mark.
So we see Ocelot picking up the blue buff, much needed. Kevin just cleared out a monster wave as well in that bot lane. Bot Wayne. Going a little bit wispy there. Not sure why. Soaz has used up that ultimate, of course, so that's going to be back available. As you mentioned, it's got such a short cooldown. It's going to be available in a moment again, and Soaz causing problems here.
It's a max rank Z at the moment, ultimate rather. So 68 seconds cooldown is the number right now. So every sort of minute it will be available. Fnatic almost getting caught by those light bindings, but something I also want to point out that the home guard boots have been picked up by Peke, so he's decided to go for the defensive boots as opposed to the likes of the distortion which we've seen. So his teleport ganks will still be very powerful, but not quite as often as the backdooring teleports that we've seen before.
Yeah, you better believe Kevin's got them home guard boots as well. He's not having that again.
Yeah, that is so true. So we'll see whether or not that engagement happens. Peke and Soaz, they're looking for episode 3 of the I Hunt Kevin movie, but it does look like he's managed to back away.
No, he's avoided it, whether he knew it or not. He has managed to avoid it. And unless he walks back down this lane again, unless he's completely foolish, he realizes that, obviously, surely, that Peke is not visible. They are a 3v3 in this mid lane, which means Soaz... Actually, it's only a 4v3, and they are going to engage. They went towards it, didn't follow it out, just managed to try and poke it, trying to see if they could draw any ultimates out of Fnatic.
Well, we see Hercubot, he was the sort of initiator there in that regard, and I do want to point out his CS at the moment. 104 to the 191 of Cyanide's Nasus. 6,200 gold to 8,300 gold. That is a massive difference between these two particular champions and the roles that they offer. We'll see how it actually equates once we get a big team fight, because at the moment, we actually haven't had a very big engagement. Soaz and Peke, they are still hanging around. They still want to recreate the success that they've had earlier. And Kevin, he might actually get caught.
Episode 3, here it comes. It's the trilogy. And they're on to Kevin. Can they finish him off? The death mark will go down. But the rest of the team, though, can they turn it around? Will it be a revenge series? The laser comes through. Soaz goes down. Bang! Headshot from Ocelot there. And they do manage to get the return of the king.
Sometimes you cannot go for episode 3. You've milked the license enough. Move on, people. You cannot succeed if you continue doing it. And this is the point that Fnatic need to be afraid of. If Kevin Singed cannot be killed and blown up as quickly as he has been, he is going to become a terror. The longer this game goes, the more afraid they should be of him and that particular role, because he's eventually just going to run through Cassidy and find Yellow Star. Candy Panda, is he going to get it? Does manage to steal away the big goal.
They're collapsing on him. They're collapsing on him. They're running up the lane here. He's going to try and keep him, but he's going to teleport away. He does. Where's he gone to? Bottom lane, of course. Keeps the split push going. So as Kevin is there, and he's going to cover him off, though. But it does mean they engage on Baron, because they're just like, well, you've just burned your teleport. You're the other side of the map. Let's go for it.
Fnatic are doing the best they can to get in now. Cyanide has a Randian's Omen and that Locket of the Iron Solaria. He'll tank up a lot of damage if he goes in. And with Smite and Spirit Fire, it's definitely going to help. Now Yellowstar's here. Pekka goes in.
They need to put a ward down. There's nothing for Kevin to teleport to. There he is. He's gone around the side there. Absolute Zero is going to get popped. Yellowstar was the man they targeted. There's going to be the ultimate coming out from Varus. They don't quite catch on it. Kevin's taken very, very low. And here comes Soaz. Can they catch on towards it? Again, everybody disengages and says, whoop, we don't want this fight.
Kevin stayed alive for so long against 4 or 5 members of Fnatic there. It was Cyanide running interference for SK and Kevin running interference for them. Now they're going to push us mid-turret. They should be able to get the turret, and they're going to carry on chasing to the inhib. Look at Kevin's HP. He's very, very low. Fnatic, have they stuck around too long?
Oh, and they've managed to defend it. The tower hit goes in, and they've held off the turret. So that was SK Gaming choosing to say, okay, if we back now, we're going to lose this inner turret. I think we can fight it. Let's just back in there. But it is going to be a dragon, surely, for Fnatic.
Fnatic will pick this one up completely for free. There is no positioning or wards or vision for SK Gaming, so there was nothing that they could do about that one. They may only be able to hazard a guess until they actually move down there and look at the position themselves. They won't know that it's been taken. Fnatic continue to hold a very loose lead on this particular matchup, but it is still a very close game, a very tight game, and it just depends on whoever can get the advantage. Kevin was forced so low at the beginning of that Baron fight because he teleported it into the middle of Fnatic that it meant the rest of his team was kept safe, but it also meant he couldn't carry on fighting because he needs to be in the front line to protect Ocelot and Candy Panda.
But the thing is, they didn't kill him.
Correct.
And there was a lot going towards him, but Soaz wasn't kind of in that fight. He didn't have his ultimate available to it. He'd just been caught out in the Rocky series that went on a little bit too long in that top lane. And the 1-2 punch was not available to finish him off. And this time, he's going to be getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You can see he's got that... is he going for Zhonya's?
Yes, definitely. He's got the Seeker's Arm Guard at the moment, so he's starting to work towards Zhonya's Hourglass. He doesn't have the needlessly large rod, so with the blasting one in the tier, I expect him to pick up the Archangel Staff first.
Yep.
That tier is fully maxed, so it will immediately become the Seraph's Embrace. If they're not killing him already, and he's still going to have that mana shield once he picks up a fight, he's definitely going to be in a good position. Fnatic now have got fairly good vision. They're positioning for Baron, but I don't know if they're actually going to challenge for it right now. We're in this phase of the game where any mistakes or any team fights cost you so big. It's going to be an inhibitor for sure if a team wins a very big team fight. And Fnatic, they're just looking for an opening. The Light Binding catches Cyanide.
Catches Cyanide, but look at the damage. Not a great deal coming in there because he has managed to build some tanky enough. And Kevin instead is going to get caught out. The Virus ultimate. Wild Growth goes down though, but Hercubot goes leaping in. Yellowstar taken so low, but he pops the barrier. Hercubot does go down. Kevin's going to get dropped as well. He gets taken down. Cyanide, still the focus. Nip now goes down. Peke comes in, explodes another one. And Ocelot, the only man surviving, has the back up. Laser snipe. Max range on Cyanide, brilliant.
Ocelot channels his inner Death Star and manages to pick up another kill there with the final spark. 4-2-1 at the moment. The fight could not have gone better for Fnatic. Enrated does take a little bit of damage. If he gets caught by a Light Binding, he may be in trouble, but he should be able to get away. And again, Kevin survived for so long in that team fight. It doesn't matter that he survived for long though, because Fnatic got 4 for 1, and they got the tower. Definitely a win for Fnatic, and they're just going to spike their damage with some more items.
Problem was, it was Cyanide they ultimate onto, and it's not the squishiest of targets. If they had caught to either Yellow Star or ex-Peke, would have been a different story. Peke did use his barrier as well in that fight to help him survive. Hercubot launched himself in there, tried to split them apart with that wild growth and ultimate, but it wasn't to be. And Candy Panda, he can't deal with the fact that Soaz can get on towards him, and it was a great Varus ultimate from Yellow Star as well.
It really was a good ultimate. It was also the fact that they managed to get so much damage onto Kevin as he was a little overextended by the turret. I keep thinking to myself, how would that fight have gone if Ocelot had landed a final spark earlier? If he'd been slightly better positioned where he could fire it into the midst of the team during the fight, all of those low health Fnatic members may have died. And it just shows you the possibilities where if that damage had come down onto the squishy targets, like you said, it could have turned it. Now, Peke, he's hiding in the grass. The last time he was doing that, it was for episode 3 of We Hunt Kevin. And we'll see if they're going to be going for episode 4, but there's no Soaz nearby. So I imagine the script writers aren't looking for that one.
Peke is also doing the exact same thing in the bottom lane. They're on the hunt still.
They just want to find Kevin. This is their target. Kevin has still not finished any additional items right now. He's picked up another cloth armor just to survive some of the auto attacks coming down from Zed,
there we go,
from Nasus, and from Yellow Star. And now we see them going on to get the damage.
Again, and this time the Varus ultimate will catch him out. Chain of Corruption, and he do take him down. So would you believe it? It's, I don't know what it is for.
Absolutely no idea.
I don't care, I don't matter. Baron is being taken, but we can see SK Gaming are ready for this one. Teleport comes in from Peke. He's going to come around the backside. Well, who'd have thought that one? He's going to go straight on. Candy Panda just deleted Hercubot. Wild growth up, but he's going to get dropped. There's nothing he can do. Final spark comes through, but they are already gone. And again, Ocelot, the last man standing in his base. They've locked the inhibitor turret on the bottom lane as well. So they're going to go in towards Baron, but look at Yellow Star. He's just fighting off. Ocelot, can he solo him? That's the question he's got. He doesn't need to solo him because in comes Cyanide, puts down the Wither, and he just drops him. It's an ace for Fnatic, 5-0.
The other three are trying to take out the Baron. They've got enough damage between Peke and Soaz to do this. They get the inhibitor. The rest of Fnatic, they're not stopping. They've just finished that one off. They're on the Nexus turret, and Yellow Star and Cyanide. They've got Nexus turret number 1.
They can finish the game.
They've done it.
They're going to do it. It's going to be Fnatic taken down. He's going to come out. Kevin, can he do enough to try and keep them away from this one? You can see Yellow Star, he's putting the damage down. There's going to be the Nexus going down. Cyanide finishes it off, and it's Fnatic that take the game once again against SK Gaming. This time they didn't need to do the backdoor action.